Unique Talk with Malique. It's unique. It's me. It's Malique. This is episode 3, and I'm going to be hosting this episode with the new. Well, this is a spoiler for Real Talk. The new Real Talk World Tag Team Champions, Reaper and Youngblood. And in case you don't know who these guys are, John Edwards is AKA Reaper, and Hunter Davis is Youngblood, or is Hunter Reaper, and John is Youngblood. I'll let
No,
you
no,
just
I'm much more beautiful than him.
well, well there you have it. So please introduce yourself. Who likes to go first? Hunter, John, Youngblood, Reaper. Who wants to go first? Let's go Reaper. So
What's going on, everyone? It is I, John Edwards, also known as the Reaper of Real Talk Wrestling. How are y'all doing tonight?
oh, well we live, baby. Well not well this recording is live, but you get the you get the point.
People would take my advice. We could be live permanently.
Ooh. I love the talk. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. But let's talk to Reaper, Youngblood. I mean, oh my God, Botchamania. Reaper, Hunter, introduce yourself.
It's me, Hunter Davis.
AKA Reaper of Real Talk.
I have much more of a living kind of thing about me. You know, it's kind of funny. I've been talking about being on this show for a little while.
Yes.
Seems like it takes me to get the tags and everything before they want me on here.
Oh, wow. Well,
That's because Malik Davis doesn't deal with losers. He only has champions on this show.
technically, Alphonse, aka Lobo, was not a champion on Unique Talk.
I was like, wow.
But if it makes you feel better, I looked at the budget. Apparently, you're affordable. You and John together, John was expensive, but you thrown in there, it was, a bonus. But overall,
Well, you said Alphonse wasn't a champion, but to be fair, Alphonse is the champion of our hearts. Unfortunately, I can't find mine, and it's gone missing a while ago.
well, he's also a champion of the Sami Zayn fan club too. You can't forget that.
Oh, no, you're right. He is that.
But also, I just realized that the most expensive person to get on Unique Talk with Malik is actually the artist known as Booty Daddy. And I really want him, but that dude is expensive, and especially that he beat Maverick at SummerSlam. Yeah, that stock went up. But speaking about Real Talk, speaking about SummerSlam, I'm going to talk to you guys about the podcast, how you feel about it, and stuff like that. So let me start with not the newest member, but he started off new, technically here. So Hunter, how do you?
I think everybody started new.
Well, technically, I was when Real Talk started. I already had like 3 episodes of podcast in me. But anyways, Hunter, how are you feeling about Is this your first podcast? If I'm correct.
That's my first real. No, it's not my. I've done another podcast with John a couple times.
Which is one of the ones that I dropped to do this, because to be fair, I still do it on occasions, like when it doesn't cross with the episodes that we do here, but this kind of took priority over everything else.
Thank you for burying Hunter's promo, by the way. I mean, you buried the competition in Real Talk, now you're burying your tag partner in real life. That's crazy, man. But
I mean, he does bury. That's kind of the whole Reaper thing in him.
Yeah, that is true. But Hunter, let's talk about so when you first started, you kind of was iffy. I'm not gonna lie, and we're all being honest. Watch episode 2. about how we talked about you. Uh, you didn't start off strong in the podcast. Like you were kind of iffy talker. You was kind of this
Yeah,
and that.
I didn't really find a center for a while.
Yeah, and then I can say this. You probably don't want people to know this, but I try to make sure that you were ready for it. I try to talk to you. I even invited you on Nerd Squad so you can feel more comfortable with doing podcasts, and then you involved really. You was getting there. You was getting better, and then out of the blue after WrestleMania, you team. I was it WrestleMania or was it post
It was right
Backlash?
after WrestleMania that we started the Young Blokes.
Yeah, it was after Mania where he won the belt. Maverick challenged you to a match where the match was supposed to be loser changed the name, but it became loser leaves real talk. And I was so conflicted because I'm like, yo, I don't want people to leave we just started the podcast. Why are we having people leave the podcast? And and then Jonathan,
Funny thing about that, I didn't actually know what was going on at the
yeah,
time. I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna assume that I'm not actually gonna be made to leave. I'm thinking, okay, he might have something up his sleeve planned, and so I just went with it.
I'm not gonna lie, me and John and Javi were so lost. We were trying to figure out what just sorry Adam, but we were just trying to figure out what just happened. I remember John telling me that he didn't feel comfortable with a podcast where we had to force people to leave, and I was laughing, but I was agreeing with him, but it was just so funny how the situation occurred out of nowhere, and
I mean, it was crazy because I was like, because I didn't want to say no. I mean, that's kind of like just killing your character if you're backing down for your first challenge.
all right, and then and then I'm just like, well, I guess someone's gonna leave, and that was just it was funny. And then then after Backlash when you lost to Maverick, it turns out it was a trick. You didn't leave. You became his I think the original plan was to be a tag partner, but he made you his protege, if I'm correct.
I don't even know what that one. I was supposed to be a tag partner equal, and then somewhere along the line he changed that without letting me know.
Yeah, that was also funny. I remember him saying that it was going to be a tag team, but the moment after he won the world title, the moment he won the world title, and then he said that it was going to be, he's going to do something for a final contender, and then he put you as the beat the Buck challenge. I automatically assumed that this guy is taking advantage of him, and
But
Maverick.
he was like, all right, so I'm just gonna make it where you automatically go. You're gonna beat everyone, but and then in the final you get you'll face me if you win. You get a world title match. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I didn't really have any. I don't want to shake the boat. To be honest, I didn't really get what got me my whole help was the fact that after this, I was left at Payback, I believe it was. I didn't have
Yeah,
a match.
yeah,
And so from
Payback.
there,
You were off the
evaluate my list.
not to cut you off, but at Payback, because the story goes as during the feud, like you said it in the chat that Maverick was supposed to make it rigged to where it was supposed to be you versus him at Payback. But
Mm-hmm.
then
But
Providence came, Sean Bradley. Go check him out in Pro South. Sean came, so Maverick make sure that Sean was to win, so he'll face him at Payback. And then the Payback card was me versus John, aka Reaper. Uh, I think it was Luigi and Jimmy, Prodigy and Numa, and it was Maverick, Providence, Kieran, and Sean. And you were off the card. And then after
yeah,
Payback, you decided to have Blood Bank, and that Blood Bank got you over.
yeah. I
And
mean, during the whole week of just before Payback, I kind of thought to myself, I said, I'm not going to let this whole me not being on the card stop me from doing something. I kind of realized, I didn't need to let anybody else push me up to find my own thing. And so I came up with the beautiful one. And it just kind of rolled from there. And the blood bank allowed me to, because I had no idea where I was going to go after payback. And so I just kind of went around on everybody so that I could have something going with somebody.
All right. Now, I don't want. Now, it's up to you because I told John, I didn't want to go too personal with the questions, but do you want to let them know your original planned feud after you did the Blood Bank promo?
I was going to be doing a thing with Jimmy Gonzalez or Enigma. Trying to do like, I'm taking your girlfriend. Turns out he was not a fan of how that was going. And there was some bad heat in this. And so I made advantage of the situation. And honestly, I'm glad I didn't do the thing with Enigma because I ended up going after Prodigy, guys, And from there, I was able to move on to the world title picture.
Which you beat Maverick, so. Which is, funny how things turn out that because of Maverick, you were left off the card for the world title, but at the end, you still got that match he promised you, that world title match, and you won it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
Much to his chagrin.
Yeah, that was basically Cinderella writing right there. The only issue with the storyline of that was you were a heel, where you should have been a face. But other than that, if you were still a face, that's storytelling right there. And honestly, I kind of feel like you winning the world title over Maverick, like you beating Maverick, period. It should have been at the Big Four pay-per-views because I feel like it would be a natural conclusion for the Youngblood character. But that's just me.
And of course, it was a great emotional high of the title. And 4 days later, the crew decided to shut everything down. I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little bit stiff because I had been trying and then suddenly I was taken away.
Yeah, it's like the whole you win the title and then it being stripped, taken away for the break. Ooh, who's crying like a dog?
That would be my dog.
That makes sense. But
1 second.
Yeah, no problem. The whole thing it feels like a WWE injury when you forced to take something away from you when you don't deserve it. But honestly, look how I think it ended up good for you because now your partnership with John, no homo, as a tag team, you are now the tag team champions. And speaking of that, we talked about you. We can't leave the other guy going. So John, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Well, anyway, back to important things. I'm sorry, I have to keep kayfabe alive because we can't have it dead like Reaper's few title runs.
Look, if we were keeping kayfabe alive, I would hate you right now.
Okay, kayfabe alive. Why did I even appear here?
Well, because this is the only show that'll let you talk and say your mind.
If kayfabe was alive here, Malique, Youngblood would be looking at himself in the mirror, telling himself how great he looks, or doing awkward poses.
So Tyler Breeze.
That would be me, wouldn't it?
And I would be walking around a graveyard pointing at random pedestrians in the Reaper outfit, scaring the shit out of them.
What the fuck? Okay,
Okay, I actually kind of want to just do that just for the hell of it now.
but back to the thing on hand, John. Like not gonna ask you too deep in it, but the podcast so far, you came in during fast lane season, and we said this numerous of times. You said it in numerous of promos, not many as Maverick said, but you came into the podcast. You're either your second or third episode. You
It
won the
was my
world.
first. It was my first episode where I actually started talking shit and saying I was going to win the world title, and everybody else kind of laughed it off.
Well, not it was actually just me and Luigi because you was a new one, and this is where the whole part timer thing was coming because John, I mean not John, but Sean and Kieran wasn't making it a lot, and then Javi was doing something. He wasn't a part timer, but he was. We basically he was like kind of out for injury. He was doing something work and stuff, so he was still finding his full time schedule with this. So we needed more people. So the story is real life storyline. And even in the, I think I even mentioned in the Real Talk storyline too that I was scouting new people, and then I realized that I have a wrestling page, and then out of everybody, I knew John, and I trust John. I knew John, like we can say I knew John. We was friends for like 3 years on Facebook. Year two, I believe, I asked him, "Hey, I run a wrestling page. Want to join?" Because we was on a Team Four Star bridge. Sorry about that technical difficulties, but anyways, I trusted John. We knew each other from Team Four Star. We had a comment in Dragon Ball Z. One time, John had my back when it came to a wrestling post that was Team Four Star related because I had Goku with his Spirit Bomb, and then I told Adam Rose put up a finger, and then the Spirit Bomb got bigger, and then John came out saying Adam Rose is a professional WWE wrestler. So I was like, oh, this guy likes wrestling. I added John to the wrestling page, and then real talk, like I said, needed more people because it was just me and Luigi.
If I may interject, you just gotta take a moment to. Wow, to think Leo Kruger, one of the most interesting characters, then becomes a party animal. Then, oh wait, where the fuck is he now?
If well,
Yeah,
I'll get back to the John thing, but if Adam Rose stayed as Leo Kruger, I promise you, he would have been a good face on SmackDown. I think he'd probably be
Face?
not like face, but like a good person in SmackDown. Like he would
Oh
be.
yeah, I'd give him the WWE title.
I want
I
to get.
think
I think US. He would be a good US champion.
I see.
I personally would have liked to see Kruger versus Corbin at one point.
I would want to see Kruger versus Bray
Mm.
for the
All right,
WWE
so
title.
continue on, Malik.
No problem. Where did I left off at?
It was just you and Luigi.
Yeah, it was just me and Luigi. I added John because I trust John. So when John came aboard, he said, he just flat out said that he's taking the Real Talk World title, and I think that was his first episode. And is it episode two? Was it episode? I think episode two was Fastlane predictions. Because during that period, we did Raw and SmackDown. That Friday or Saturday was predictions, and then Sunday we see the pay per view, and then Monday the review. So
Yeah, which, by the way, my very first episode on the podcast, outside of the Blood Bank promo, is, I think, still the most viewed episode.
yes,
No, it's not. Oh wait, outside the blood bank, yeah.
yeah, I wonder how it got that most viewed. You bastard.
What can I say? People like controversy, and I stirred a lot of it right there.
Anyways, uh, you episode two was predictions. You posted your predictions, and episode three, the review of Fastlane, we had a new champion. And honestly, it as much as I'm happy you won it. A part of me is still salty that Luigi changed his predictions mid pay per view because me and you were tied for the world title, and then what's funny is I suggested co-champs, and you said hell no, coin flip.
Wait, John, you're the one who suggested the first coin flip?
Well, to be fair, I already knew for a fact that Luigi and him screwed each other over for a title, so I wasn't about to have that happen with me.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. Me and John were tied. I was like, hey John, you want to be co-champions? And then John was like, fuck that. I think he literally said, fuck that, coin flip it.
That does sound like something he would say.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, trust
Well,
me.
like I said, to be fair, it was before the coin flip even happened. You and Luigi did mention the fact that you two were once co-champions, and I can't remember if Luigi screwed you or you screwed Luigi.
Luigi
but
screwed me because he was a Real Talk champion and he did a coin flip to determine
I
who
would have
keeps
figured
it.
the black guy would have had done the
I'm not really a big fan of him.
The black people.
I'm sorry, man. I just had to.
Oh, can we also acknowledge the fact, like, on Hunter's very first episode, he referred to you as that one black guy on the podcast?
Oh yeah. I shouldn't have mentioned that. If you watch episode 2,
Hey, I didn't know your name.
my name was on top of the screen.
Not in the pit. No, we were in the pit. It was in the call, so all I could see is a picture.
Okay, I have a question. Now that we're deep into the whole podcast and we know each other's names, so Hunter, you know Malique's name, but do you know his story?
I assume his father left him.
Alright, so yeah, but going back to what I was saying about the whole coin flip thing, I knew at the time one of y'all ended up screwing the other, and I wasn't about to
I'm a
have
straight
that
man.
happen at my expense. Huh?
I'm a straight guy. I don't. That's if you talking about one of us screwing each other.
It's okay. We're perfectly fine with.
That's
Look,
all, Hunter.
I'm 100% on you being straight, Malique, but I do have to question Kind's side.
Anyways, continue with your story, John.
Alright, so yeah, basically like I said, I knew at one point one of y'all ended up screwing the other one over. I wasn't about to have that happen, so I decided to, and keep in mind, you may be salty about this, but I did the coin flip at my own personal risk of also losing the World title to you. So we went with the coin toss. I ended up winning, and I want to say it lasted only 2 weeks as world champion.
Actually, you're missing the point. You're actually missing a few details. Luigi changed his predictions mid pay-per-view, so you decided to do the same thing.
I think I changed from Sasha to Bayley in a match.
You changed, I think Charlotte to Bayley, and then I was like, today, I was like, well, if you stuck to your predictions, you shouldn't change your predictions mid-show because it's not right. So I decided not to do that, and you said that was really honorable. So after the whole pay-per-view was over, you beat me by 1 point because, you changed, I didn't. And then Luigi ended up in third. And you went to have the tied with the longest reign with Javi with, I believe, 29 days. Now,
for the Real Talk World title, which got totally eclipsed by the IC title when we brought that in.
Yeah, we will get into that. Trust me.
About something. It's kind of interesting because, see, John brought me into the podcast, and that's interesting because we later became a team. I think the best teams on here have been those who know each other beyond the podcast.
Which basically is one of the things I brought you in for, because breaking kayfabe and all that, a while ago when I first brought Hunter onto the podcast, I messaged him saying, "Hey, do you want to be a tag team?" And he turned me down for the fact that him and Maverick were supposed to do the whole young blokes thing, and he was
Oh my
supposed to.
god, I remember
Yeah.
that team name.
Trust me, I would have taken your offer in hindsight.
Which I'm perfectly fine with, because honestly, I feel as much as people don't want to admit it, Mav kind of screwing you over kind of helped you out in the long run.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, obviously, world
Oh,
champion,
he's
tag
not
champion.
listening, is he?
I mean, no one's questioning Maverick screwing Hunter. Like, wait, why do I keep saying no one? Maverick screwing the Youngblood
Yeah, no.
character. There you go.
Yeah, the character, because Youngblood doesn't sleep around with trash.
Well, dang. But he teams with them. That was Booty Daddy, not Malik.
Sometimes,
But,
you know.
anyways, back to the story. So I wanted to get to the IC title, but since you brought up the world title, the original after WrestleMania, Heat won it, and we were going to Backlash, and we're going to talk about me and you feud, but that's going to be that's right now that's going to be a side story. So me and John got into the feud. We were doing the feud, and then Heat was still not there. So I wouldn't say everybody was panicking, but it was just like, yo, our world champion has yet to appear. Luigi was ready to strip him because his past two episodes. I'm like, yo, we can't just strip him off the belt. That's not, it's not fair. So, me and John, because we were trying to build up the feud, and I won the IC title, and the IC title originally was just for. It was going to be basically a TV title, and it was just going to be defended weekly, every episode in trivia. So John messaged me personally saying, "Hey, I feel like titles should be defended in feuds." And I didn't know what he meant by that because he sent a long message. I'm just like, what the fuck is he talking about? And I got confused, so I just ignored it because I'm like, well, look, I'm just doing my feud. You do whatever you want to. You do whatever you. I thought it was a promo. And then John can vouch for this. We did an hour long talk about the title situation and how titles will have more of an impact if it wasn't defended in battle royals every pay per view and with story infusing it. And then and surprisingly, Luigi didn't agree with it. He thought that the world title should be defended in battle royals, gives everybody a chance to a shot with it. And I actually said we should have feuds. So if it wasn't for John and him standing up for what he thought of the title situation, right now the IC title would probably most like. I'm not saying it. I mean, I don't want to be the guy saying, "Yo, it's confirmed." But if it wasn't for John, we will most likely see the IC title probably be like the U.S. Open Challenge, and hopefully the guy who can retain the title for his feud, and then the world title in battle royals every pay per view. So,
Which, to be fair, was getting a bit old.
yeah, and then it wasn't really fair for people to defend the title against every person in the podcast where there's like barely it's not even if it was a fatal four way the highest a title should be defended is a fatal four way. Over four people, it's basically not fair because now you're guaranteed the loss unless you can Google predictions real quick or get a sneak peek of WWE's booking. You can kiss that title goodbye. So it wasn't for because of John. Real Talk now has title feuds that can mean more to the belt. And speaking of belts, let's talk about and Hunter. I know you're there. You can probably add your take to it like you always do. let's talk about the feud of probably, and Hunter, you can answer this question right now. Do you think Booty Daddy versus Reaper from Backlash through technically Money in the Bank, because the feud still continued, was that the feud of the year?
Yes, I would say so far. The only thing that has against it is the fact that there was that it ended badly.
Because of Jimmy.
Well, I didn't want to name drop, but yes, because of Jimmy.
Yeah. I mean, no. This is technically a shoot podcast. You can say however you feel about persons, so we're gonna get to that soon.
Which, in a weird way, the feud is still kind of continuing through the tag team gimmicks, because, like my partner said, he ended up, while me and you were doing our feud, he ended up doing the feud with your tag partner, Luigi, aka Prodigy. And fast forward to SummerSlam, me and Hunter ended up beating you and Luigi for the tag belt. So, in a weird way, our feuds are still kind of continuing to this day.
Which is hilarious. It's basically the higher ups are saying, "Hey, you guys are hot. You're making the podcast feel so much good that it has to continue until it's something better." And speaking of the feud, uh, just to skip ahead, I was the only person that was, glad that John decided to go for me and not Maverick for the world title because hold on, let's yeah, because he was second at Backlash, so John had the chance for the world title, and then John said he rather continue to feud with Booty Daddy, so I was really happy, and honestly, I everybody knows I always kind of down myself with the promos and all that stuff with the podcast. But if it wasn't for John, I'm sorry if I hope I don't sound sick in the recording, but if it wasn't for John, I feel like Booty Daddy would have been no, if it wasn't for Reaper, Booty Daddy would have been good. If it wasn't, and I don't know how y'all feel about this, but me personally, Booty Daddy and Reaper needed each other for them to become great. If you look at it, the long run, if Booty Daddy helped Reaper, Reaper helped Booty Daddy, and now they're both honestly really successful in their careers and with promos and everything.
Which I have to agree with you, because I'm going to let you in on a little insight. A part of me wanted, because I said this for a while now, a part of me wanted to try and work both feuds, but after looking at it in hindsight, I'm kind of glad I didn't take the feud with Maverick, because, little fun fact, ever since I've come into this podcast, I have been calling Maverick out to face me in a match. And every time I call him out,
live.
Okay, so yeah, every time I call Maverick out, he ends up turning me down. And the reason why I keep calling him out is because I know for a fact, and he might not want to acknowledge this, but I know for a fact of facing Booty Daddy during that time, he owes me and I owe him a match. And I'm the type of person to where if I know for a fact that I owe you an ass whooping, or I owe you something to cause you a loss, or have you cause me a loss or whatever, I'm not the type of person to let that go. I will keep pushing that until you give me what I want.
And I'm glad. Yeah, we're gonna get to how we feel about certain people in the podcast because I feel like it's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be great. Back to the few. I think me and your few talk is gonna be a long, long talk, cause it's a lot of story and a lot of passion in it. Cause if it wasn't for that feud, like I say that like the IC title was in good hands because I always try to build it up, but I feel like 50, like probably either 50 or 50, either 50 or 60% of the IC title being so great in the podcast is because of the feud with Booty Daddy and Reaper, because it takes two to tangle, and then with the IC title, and then we had the whole first ever contract signed up with Reaper and Booty Daddy. We actually made
Oh,
sure the IC title was the most top talk
can
title
we
in.
acknowledge the fact that our very first match at Payback wasn't even for the IC title? And when I
Yeah.
asked you for another match, you didn't even give it to me, and I had to actually go onto your Facebook and actually kayfabe insult you in front of your mother for you just to give me the second
Well,
match.
Okay, let me.
that to be fair, it was a little. It wasn't saying that Reaper said that.
Yeah, thank you. It said John Edwards commented on your status. Now,
I was like, bruh.
yeah, I
Get
remember
me on.
I posted that in the chat, and I'm gonna be honest. I messaged John personally. I was like, "Yo, that was hilarious, man. I'm gonna use that for the feud." This
I
is
looked at it and I went, shit, this is not real.
yeah, I did. And I was like, wait a second. And I just laughed at it. I didn't even took it to offense because, he didn't insult my mom. He just insulted me. I'm just like, yo,
Unlike some people. Oh, we're not at the other people's thing yet.
Hunter, I forgive you. It's okay. But anyways, I looked at it as, yo, this guy is keeping kayfabe. I'm like, yo, everybody needs to keep kayfabe now. We need to just have kayfabe live on through the chat. And I was telling everybody, yo, change your name to this or just make a new page or something like that. But let me tell you the truth about the whole IC title thing. The IC title was not defended in Backlash because we said that we had to focus on the world title because we needed to find a champion. So we decided that the IC title would not be defended in that match. However, we discussed that we will defend the IC title in the rematch at Backlash. And if Reaper was to beat me and take the title at not Backlash, but Payback, ironically, I would be Broken Booty. That's what happened. And then we added the whole mother situation into the contract signing because, we wanted to make like I actually was ready for to drop the title at Payback because I was really looking forward into being Broken Booty because I already had plans like the booty daddy you see in the podcast. It wasn't that was not supposed to be Broken Booty, and John can vouch for it. Broken Booty was basically supposed to be a Cody Rhodes ripoff.
Yep.
And I'm at
Which you ended up beating me. You ended up beating me at
which
Backlash.
ruined the plans because I act like even though I wanted to retain the title, I kind of wanted to be. I feel like Booty Daddy personally didn't really have a gimmick. He was just basically there, if that makes sense. And I think we could all agree that Booty Daddy before the Reaper feud was just a person, not a gimmick. He was just a name. So
Basically, but yeah, what happened? I think it was Payback. I ended up beating you due to one of the
no,
matches
it was
ending in a count
Backlash.
out.
Backlash was
No,
DQing. Payback was a countout win with AJ and Owens.
Which that was bullshit, by the way.
It's funny how AJ and Owens feud continued through SummerSlam, and me and Reaper's feud has continued through SummerSlam technically. So,
but yeah, that's the reason why our feud kept on continuing because it was like a work from the powers above and shit that
like you
our
guys have something hot. Keep it going.
and I believe.
Hmm?
Oh, all right,
All right, continue. Yeah, it was
all right.
basically
So yeah,
the higher power. Vince McMahon said, "Hey, you guys got something hot. keep it going. You're making the IC title look good because I think when it was in the trivia days, it felt like only 3 people participate, and now it's like, well, the IC title is now officially, people want it, except for Maverick. For some strange reason, he keeps looking a way to bury the title.
I
And
mean, I understand why he was doing it in a sick way, because by the IC title becoming so important, it was really highlighting how ineffective he was making the world title scene.
hear me out. This is how me and John took it. The
Oh,
IC
I
title,
agree, it was wrong.
the IC title is a new belt. Me, I'm trying to build it because I'm the first champion. John's feuding with me. We're trying to build the title. The first episode, like after me and John are feuding for the title officially in a feud, Maverick took every shot to bury it. He buried it saying, "Oh, he didn't want it. It was just a stupid title." Me and it personally insulted me because I'm the first champion and I'm trying to make it good. He insulted it on a live recording and he is insulted in the chat. So, and I don't know how John felt, but that made me mad. I was pissed. Like, you're insulting the title that's new. Why will why are you attacking it? And I don't know, kayfabe wise, Maverick is doing this and that, but me personally, as a fan and as a fan, I take it as you should never bury a belt because it's prestige. Unless the belt.
Well, to be you're doing it with said belt, and you come out with a new one.
To be fair, Malik, at first I was agreeing with you that it was insulting, but the more he insulted it, the more it just drove me to work on our feud.
Yes, and that's what I was gonna get. That's what I was getting at. This is how it all we planned it because me and John we went personal chat saying, "Yo, John Maverick wants to bury our IC title. We're gonna bury his world title and his world title feud." And to be honest, and Hunter, you're a witness because me and John might agree actually just say yes to everything. And Hunter even said one time that the IC titles right now is more prestigious than the world title, so that gives me props.
After the whole fiasco with the world title with Maverick and me, honestly, I didn't even care about the world title because it didn't even seem like anyone cared, and so I wanted to just go after the one that was mattered.
Exactly. Honestly, after the whole Booty Daddy and Reaper contract signing, and I posted in the chat, even John posted in the chat. We buried Maverick and Providence feud, and to be fair,
it wasn't that strong to begin with.
Yeah, it wasn't that strong because both of them were barely here in the episode, and me and John would always make sure we promote our feud and our match. We talked about the title, and
y'all had people outside the podcast trying to fight each of you because they thought it was real.
Yeah, because fun fact, I have a wrestling group on Facebook that Malique is also a part of. Me and him actually took to that wrestling group to actually argue with each other.
Yeah, I think your roommate was there, and then I was telling him how, oh, John, you made Reaper, you made a new account so you can, try to look cool and stuff, and we both messaged each other saying, yo, we are keeping kayfabe so strong.
Which, I mean, to be fair, as much as I have issues with Maverick and everything, even throughout all of that, we went out of our way to try and promote Mav and Providence's feud with each other since neither of them were able to make episodes, and it got to a point where, like you said, Mav kept burying the belt. Sean wasn't there to help push his feud with Maverick because kayfabe aside and all that, he has wrestling that he does for Pro South Wrestling. He's one of the tag team champions there, 4-time champion.
It was me, John, and Malique basically made a pact. We weren't going to talk about them. We weren't going to promote them. We weren't going to try and bury them. We were just going to ignore them.
Yeah, that was pretty much what me and that's like. It was got to the point where they kept saying that how they basically were saying me, John, and everybody else was burying the world title because we were talking bad about it. And me and John looked at we messaged. It's like we messaged each other, but it's like me and him were actually looking at each other like, yo, like what's going on now? They were burying our title. We're trying to promote our title, and now they're thinking we're burying the world title. So that now it's just basically saying that the mid carders was trying to bury the main eventers, and to me, I just felt like, well, shoot, I'm making this IC title equal or better than the world title. I'm not trying to bury the world title, but quite frankly,
which honestly, in my opinion, if you like, and this goes for any company, if you have mid card people doing better than main event people, and you're saying the mid card people are burying the main event people, then technically the main event people shouldn't be main event people, because what people on the top will do when they feel that their feud is doing bad compared to a feud on the lower card, you have two choices: either show up and step up your feud to make it work, or step aside and accept the fact that your feud isn't exactly the main event feud that you say it is.
exactly. And honestly, despite how they feel, we still try to promote them as the main event. And Hunter's a witness. Hunter can say after what I said, but if you're looking at it from Backlash through Extreme Rules, where before I was broken, the main event matches was me versus Reaper. We were the main events.
I want to take notice and make a reference to a show. From what John said, it's like war. If you either step whenever it's hot, the battle is hot and heavy. You either step up and take charge, or you step the hell out of the way.
Which is basically how my whole persona for this whole entire podcast has been. Because, fun fact about my Reaper persona, when I first came into this, I kind of wanted to do like a whole Bray Wyatt / creepy vibe, but I slowly started to realize that if I'm not able to actually have physical interaction and able to do shit with other people, like you and Luigi can, since you both live in the same city, that wasn't going to work. So my Reaper character kind of just has turned into a whole I want to be the guy that gets noticed, and I kind of like I still try and keep the whole like I'm going to like kill your feud, I'm going to kill your gimmick, because that's pretty much what happened with me and Malique, right? Because the whole broken thing didn't really become a thing until I think after our match at Payback.
The broken gimmick happened after Extreme
Well,
Rules.
no, that's when you became broke. I'm saying I didn't make the suggestion to do the feud to where you became broken until after.
Yeah, you after Backlash was we did Payback saying, hey, if I lose, I could be broken and do an undashing Cody Rhodes gimmick.
Yeah, which I don't know. Like, to me, and everybody says this about themselves, you're your own biggest critic. The only thing that has really stood out for me for the Reaper gimmick outside of teaming with Youngblood and becoming tag champions, because I feel him being the whole lively, I'm beautiful type character, yet I'm supposed to be the whole I'm dead on the inside and I hate everything in life type character, kind of works well with each other. I haven't really been much of a fan of my own gimmick because I feel like doing a creepy gimmick over the podcast when it's just voices doesn't really work out all that well.
It's if I may, it's kind of funny on my gimmick because I a lot of people think I'm trying to like do something like Tyler Breeze, but I actually didn't draw my persona from anything involving a wrestler. My favorite TV show is White Collar. Great show if you haven't seen it. But I tried to basically emulate Yo Caffrey, this massive con man.
I've seen a few episodes, so I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Who could get any woman he wanted. You know, just every guy was like, okay, I want to be you. That's kind of what I was going with.
Which, going back to what I was saying, there was a time in the chat, because I believe it was when we took the belts away and all that, we were talking about what we were going to do when the gimmicks came back, and I brought up this idea to Hunter of me being like a hitman for hire on the podcast, calling myself Crossfire, which was supposed to be like the babyface persona to Reaper, because before the podcast stopped with the gimmicks, Reaper was a face character and I was just basically just trying to get noticed. It wasn't until after the gimmick stopped that I actually started talking shit in the chat and everything and trying to act like the biggest dick I could act like, to the point to where I actually feel...
I mean, it works good for you.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't feel that Reaper is a character that works as a babyface, because nobody's supposed to like death. If I'm trying to get people to like Reaper and stuff, that's pretty much going against the whole thing of his persona, because you're not supposed to like me. You're supposed
Which
to...
is why Beautiful Death... Oh, sorry. Which is why Beautiful Death, because it's like I'm the front man, the face of the operation, and he's sitting there in the back. No one needs to know that, you know, he's there. It's just, we work best. I'm the lively guy that you can't help but like, and then he's sitting in the back, and you like him just because you associate by association. But if I wasn't there, you'd hate him.
So basically, D. Brian Kendrick, and Ezekiel Jackson.
Basically, the way I've always seen it was Team Hell No.
That was another way of putting it.
Yeah, yes.
You know, just the basic odd couple, though.
But speaking of that, funny fact, you were supposed to be a face in the feud, and I'm the heel. But when you attacked my family, we had to do a double turn. So we had to switch characters, and we both was like, well, one of us got to be heel. So you went heel, I went face.
Which I feel helped out in the long run, because I feel Booty Daddy himself works better as a face, because from what I've known you as Malik, you're the type of person who tries to help out other people and get people to be better about themselves and everything, and that's not something a heel does.
Yeah, as noticed, even with the aggressive side, I'm too nice. Like I'm a good guy. So honestly, that's probably why, like I said, Booty Daddy and Reaper helped each other out. The problem was that me and Prodigy were supposed to be heels, and I feel like me personally, I work better face. Like I know I'm trying to train to be a heel, and I'm trying to work on heels right now because I experienced the heel run, so I should know what to do and what not to do. But I feel like Booty Daddy should be a face. I mean, the name Booty Daddy, that's like comic relief. Who's gonna what heel name is Booty Daddy? You might as well just call you. You might as well
finish.
If you might as well just say I'm Taserface from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Like I'm just a comic relief villain. But if I was Booty Daddy, I'm a.
I love that.
What, a Taserface joke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one request. When they ask you who was the one who brought down the Guardians of the Galaxy, tell them it was Taserface.
And then I've still yet to see Guardians of the Galaxy, so I'm kind of
The second one?
First one or second one?
Either.
Oh, spoilers.
Second one was a lot better.
Ooh, I disagree.
Okay, but we can talk about that in Nerd Squad because that's
Thinking about Prodigy. Prodigy just never really stood out as a heel to me, though.
I mean, I
yeah,
think.
that's.
Huh.
I have to agree with that, but to be fair, Prodigy has never really stood out to me to begin with. I mean, fun fact: Prodigy was the one I beat for the world title when I came in at Fastlane. But if I have to be honest, and since we're shooting from the hip here, as much as I like Luigi and everything, because me and him get along great. We talk in private chats, we have common interests, but when it comes to the two of you, like even as a tag team, I personally feel that Booty Daddy is the one that shines more between the two of you.
Which is funny. I always thought that Luigi should have been the one that should have been the breakout star of me and him, but I see where you're coming from. If I think Hunter could pick. I can't even talk because I'm excited because I just saw the Shield match. Hunter could put his take in it, but if you watch the podcast and you listen back, it does feel like Booty Daddy is the real breakout star of the Brothers of Real Talk. Where, and honestly, I feel like it should have been Luigi being the breakout star. Hunter, what's your take on it? Do you agree with
Oh, yeah,
John?
you were definitely the breakout star.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to promote. I'm a humble guy. I don't try to promote myself. I try to promote others. But I see where they are coming from. I mean, looking at it, if we could pick anybody from the podcast that's been good, I think Booty Daddy, because like the character of Booty Daddy evolved. Has Prodigy really evolved? Is the question.
That's why I was gonna say, and not trying to not. I have no problem with Malique, but I do also. I think the best characters have been the ones that have evolved and broken out. And I would say Pretty Daddy through being broken and everything. I'd say when my character took a big turn.
Which I get. Is that a dog growling at me?
Not on my end. My dog's sleeping and just lifting up its. My dog's weird. When it sleeps on its back, it just raises up its hand like doing like the gay put your hand out kind of thing. Yeah. And it just does this like every 30 seconds.
Anyway, we
No.
were talking about like breakout stars and everything. I actually have to agree outside of because I can't really say that I'm a breakout star because I came in to the podcast hot. Like I've been pretty much firing on all cylinders since day one. But as for everybody else, I feel the two people that have actually broken out the most would be you two. Because until the feud with me and Booty Daddy happened, Malique was just kind of
I was just a name basically. Yeah.
yeah, and then Hunter broke out. I feel after Mav betrayed him,
Oh yeah, we can all agree. Maverick after the whole Maverick betrayal, Hunter broke out, and
which kind of opened up the opportunity for me and him to be a tag team because it was, I think, a week or two after Mav betrayed him, I went on to personal message again saying, hey, I'm having issues with Mav and everything. I honestly don't like him at that time, and somewhat even still to this day, even though me and him have started to get along a lot better than we were before. I went on to the personal message and messaged Hunter saying, hey, Mav just betrayed you. We both have issues with him.
And I kind of just thought, hey, you know what? Whatever. Any chance I have, just stick it to him. Which I kind of still do have that kind of thought process.
Yeah, so that's the reason why me and Hunter became a team. It was because out of a mutual hatred for
wow,
Maverick.
we're gonna
The
talk
best
about these
things.
guys solo. I can't wait to talk about people.
So yeah, that's why me and him became a team. And then he, like we said, he had the feud with Prodigy. Our feud was going on, and it continued to this day. So
One thing that's really, I think with honestly, my character was my string of good luck. Because, say, I didn't beat Prodigy. Honestly, I think my character would have just tanked from there.
Yeah, I could.
oh trust me, I would have made sure that your character didn't tank because as much as Reaper is supposed to be like a solo character, I personally feel that teaming with Youngblood actually helped both of us out in the long run. Because I don't know, would you say the same thing, Hunter? That the tag team actually helped both of us out? Because
I mean, you're tag
ever
team
since we,
champions.
Yeah, I
well,
mean,
that's the thing though. Ever since me and him decided to become a team,
we've been on
like
a roll together.
with like even in promos, like there was a time I think it was a couple podcasts ago to where he started cutting a gimmick or started cutting a promo leading into like a whole you being broke and like Humpty Dumpty, and out of the blue without him even messaging me about it, it kind of just
It just
clicked what he
happened.
was. Yeah, it just kind of clicked what he was trying to do. So I feel like promo wise, when me and him and Mav and a bunch of other people always want to say that it's just me talking for Youngblood, which I get where that's coming from because at times I do tend to overcut him and everything, which I don't like doing, but in a way it kind of works out when you're having a tag feud because or a tag team, because think of it this way: one team member will say something and then stop mid-sentence, and then the other team member will continue off of what that person says to try and make both promos click together. So that's basically what me and Youngblood have been doing this whole entire time. It's not really me trying to talk for him. It's more of me and him trying to do the whole what a tag team would do, you know?
That's true, man. I mean, we have to talk about Maverick soon, but as breakouts, I could see where you're coming from. Me and Hunter, that's probably why me and Hunter, like, I always try to look out for Hunter in the beginning because I was like in his shoes. I didn't have a character. I was just a name, and I just said things just to say it. But we could probably both. I think we could probably thank John, aka Reaper, that, and we could thank each other that if it wasn't for like us trying to talk to each other and do feuds with each other, we wouldn't be where we at right now. Cause right now I think Booty Daddy, and some people might not agree with it, but I think Booty Daddy is probably the best character because right now he's so complex. Like right now the current storyline, and I'm not gonna spoil the big plans for the Booty Daddy character, but I'll say this: like the whole, and this is what I love about Booty Daddy right now. Like his character is like a movie character. He's so complex. Like he's saying that he got help, he's cured and everything, but yet one of his the first persona Booty does, or the artist known as Booty Daddy. Booty does is for us, but he calls himself the artist known as Booty Daddy. Booty does, he's still lurking around. Like Booty does is a persona, and he doesn't know it, and nobody has yet to tell him about that. So he's thinking that it's just him, and then he's saying that, oh, I can't wait to meet this Booty Does slash artist known as Booty Daddy character. He sounds
Well,
great.
to be fair, it's not nobody telling him that because me and Youngblood have said several times, like, you can try and fool everybody else, but you're not fooling the two of us because
Yeah.
we know the truth.
Well, don't worry, don't worry,
And
don't worry.
you and you play it off like we're just crazy and stuff, and it kind of works out personally because like it keeps a whole you're in denial type thing, but the two of us who me being the one who broke you know the truth.
Yeah,
So
exactly, and that's work. That's good heel work because as a face, as Booty Daddy, as a face, he's saying that, yo, I went, like, I won't, like, he admitted it. Like, what happened with Reaper at Extreme Rules, losing the title, losing the 60-day reign, It broke him. It made him lose control of his person. And while he was on break with Real Talk, he decided, hey, you know what? I'm gonna seek help. I'm gonna seek help, and I'm gonna get better. And now he came back. He think he got control, but
And I really like that, the whole I'm gonna go get better. Personally, I was like, this is interesting.
yeah. And then I don't think anybody knew because they just heard Booty Daddy come with the problem. Like, okay, well, Booty Daddy, what's gonna be the story? Because the first podcast back, it was no gimmicks, and then when we did the outro, Booty Dust came back. So I feel like everybody was thinking, okay, well, he's bringing all the chill side, kind side, and then he's just gonna interrupt everybody. But no, the next episode, Booty Daddy came out talking how he got help, and then I think John said that was like a really good passionate promo. Not the one with Booty Daddy cut on Maverick, but the when Booty Daddy said that he came to get help. He blamed Reaper for all his problems. He said that he's gonna make sure that him and Prodigy win the tag titles. I think like that's when I was like, yo, Booty Daddy's a different person. Like he's actually believes like he got help. Like this is not the Booty Daddy before the break where he's like he just keeps talking, chill side comes out of nowhere, kind of like he's actually he might be sane, but like he might slip up out of control because Booty Dust comes out of blue and boom, Booty Daddy comes back, everything's normal. Like he's talking normal. There's no kind. There's no aggressive. There's no like Booty Dust comes in for a little while to take control, and then Booty Daddy comes in with full like control, and he doesn't know what's happening. And that's what I love about the whole Booty Daddy storyline. I'm not gonna spoil the plans of it, but just like let the Booty Daddy let Booty Daddy be what he think he is, and you're gonna love the storyline because I have plans for it, and I think it's gonna work. And like John said, if it wasn't for John, if it wasn't for Reaper, I feel like Booty Daddy would probably be. I think he would be a Baron Corbin right now, like just in limbo. Like they don't know what. No, he'll be a Sami Zayn, a
Yeah, I was
character
gonna say I wouldn't be
like
so rude to call him a Baron Corbin because right now Baron
yeah,
Corbin
Booty Daddy's not getting buried, but he would have been a.
is gonna keep this.
But now that was a good one. Make sure you bring that to the podcast. But Booty Daddy is like he would have been a Sami Zayn, just a guy you would just just say hey put him in something. Hopefully it'll do well. Maybe a Dolph Ziggler if you don't want to be a if your guys are healed. But I gotta thank Reaper for the making Booty Daddy and then the whole broken booty. I as a fan and a listener, I'm loving it. I hope you guys are loving it because it's gonna be good.
Yep. Alright, so you want to move on to personal opinions about people then?
Okay. All right. Well, John Edwards. Well, you know what? I feel like I'm gonna say the best for last. So, John, I'll start with you. I'm gonna go through the list of people in the chat right now. And I'm gonna save the guy for last because I want to hear your opinion. So, Hunter, do not interrupt John yet. Uh, let's go with Luigi.
Personally, as Luigi, I really like the guy. I feel he's a good person all around. We have a lot of things in common. Like me and him both like certain PokeTubers. We have a I don't know. I don't really have much to say about Luigi himself, but Prodigy, I haven't really been much of a fan of because, fun fact, the first thing I did, other than win the World Talk World title from Prodigy, I said from day one, I'm going to be the one to take down the Brothers of Real Talk. Did I not?
You did.
And I still, to this day, feel that I have not yet completed that goal because I broke Malique, aka Booty Daddy. The Booty Dust came out of that, and I feel that it helped his persona, but I don't really feel that has happened with Prodigy himself. I feel that until I actually complete what I said I was going to do and actually build a one-on-one feud with him, like I did with Malique, he's not really going to really break out, because it helped you, did it not, Malik?
Oh,
Having the feud with
like I said, if it wasn't for the feud, I feel like Booty Daddy would have been an afterthought. The feud with Reaper, we got we got something unique, like a broken character. Like it's not like a Matt Hardy. It's not like Matt Hardy. It's not like he's like
Not
he's
like any other person.
exactly. So I feel like it's something that's interesting, and it's the first time in podcast history. And then and now and now look at Booty Does. Like Booty Does is probably a character that wasn't. He was just supposed to be in for intros, and now look at Booty Does now. He's in a confused for the world. He's gonna be in a like a. Well, I don't want to spoil what's gonna happen for Real Talk because we're still discussing, but basically, Booty Does beat Maverick, and Booty Does is getting he's people saying they liking the promos like Booty Does. He's becoming his own character, and if it wasn't for Reaper breaking me at Extreme Rules, Booty Does would never have been born, and probably honestly, and this is just me saying this, and I'm gonna let y'all talk because I feel like I'm talking a lot. If it wasn't for John, I feel like Real Talk would have been born because honestly, I look forward to a Booty Dust promo because you never know what to expect. You don't know what quote will happen. You don't know who he will target. Like, I feel like you could do so much with this Booty Dust character. And if it wasn't for John, if it wasn't for Reaper, John, Booty Dust would never happen. And I think the podcast would have been boring without Booty Dust. And that's just me.
But
But
yeah, like I was saying, I don't really have much opinion on Luigi himself, but I still feel personally that I owe Prodigy the one-on-one match, because like I said that since day one, I was going to bring down the Brothers of Real Talk. In a way, I did, because I think it was for our first match, it was if you lose, the Brothers of Real Talk break up, wasn't it?
yeah, the first match was if you win, Brothers of Real Talk break up because we didn't put the title on the line yet. Brothers of Real Talk will break up if you win. If I win, you can't go for a title for 3 pay-per-views, and then we was gonna use if I was to win, we was gonna use the fact that we were saying that for the world title, not the IC title. Fun fact.
Yeah, which kind of was the loophole in our thing, because me and you didn't really feel like it was exactly fair to leave me out of both titles.
Yeah, and then we feel like we want if we was to continue the feud and I was to win, and it's not going to be for the title, then we might as well never even had that stipulation. We might as well just ended the feud right there.
Yeah, which I ended up winning, you two ended up breaking up, and then I believe it was the next pay-per-view where we had the stipulation: if you win, the Brothers of Real Talk get back together, and if I win the IC title.
Uh,
Was that a stipulation?
no,
I don't remember.
I think it was just the IC title was on the line. The IC title was just on the
No,
line at Extreme
no,
Rules.
there was a pay per view to where, cause you guys didn't just get back together because you wanted to. You guys actually had to earn getting back together, and that was one of the stipulations. If I lost,
Well,
you got to.
that probably was payback then when I won the IC title, successfully defending the IC title, and then me and Luigi was gonna get back together, and then you saying, "Fine, you guys get back together, but you better give me a rematch for that title before you do anything, before I allow it."
Yeah.
And
So
speaking of feuds, the best feuds are when both people look strong after it.
I have to agree. All right, so next person.
Next person, the art. Well, since you're doing gimmicks too, the artist known as Booty Dust. I mean Booty Daddy.
Where do I begin with this person?
The way I thought that was gonna be from Maverick.
Okay, let me put it this way. I am actually a really huge fan of Booty Dust. Because I personally feel like, okay, Hunter, I get your point. He bores the hell out of you, but when it comes to Malique himself, and he said this several times, he has said this several times tonight. He doesn't feel that he's actually broken out until Booty Dust came onto the podcast, and I feel that
I didn't say.
Oh no, you've said several times in the chat that he's a B-list actor.
Oh yeah, well, no, that wasn't Hunter saying that though.
Yeah, that's right. Keep kayfabe strong. It's cool.
Okay, but yeah, I personally feel that Malique himself
Hunter
didn't
said
really.
he's C-list.
Yeah, so at least Youngblood gives him a point up. But no, I personally don't feel like Malique really broke out until after the broken stuff happened, because while we were doing our feud and everything, he was building up, like getting better and everything, but it was at the moment when I actually beat him for the title that he actually started to really shine with his persona. And I just feel he's been a breath of fresh air on the fact that
Oh my god.
he's the only. Well, seriously, think about it.
No, that's just
He's
funny.
only. Okay, but think about it. Booty Dust is really the only thing different on this podcast, because even throughout all of us having views, the end game has always been, I'm gonna bitch at this person because I feel like I'm better than this person, and I feel that I can beat this person for the world title, whereas Booty Dust just sitting there in the background talking about his fucking movies for no reason whatsoever.
You got a point. He's like, yeah, that's cool. Watch my movie.
Oh my god. That's. I feel
yeah,
like
whatever. Watch my movie.
I honestly didn't think that was supposed to be funnier than it was.
I mean, it's true, because that's the way I've always seen it. It's always been everybody else talking shit on everybody else because they want a world title shot or an IC title shot. And meanwhile, you have Booty just sitting here like, I really don't care what y'all do. Review my goddamn movies.
That was hilarious.
That's
But
right, my goddamn movie.
it's and yes, Booty Dust did. I can't confirm Booty Dust did win at SummerSlam. So Maverick owes a movie review for Booty Dust's movies. And I hope he keeps his promise, because I am looking forward to reading that. And I hope he posts it on his page like he promised, because I'm looking forward to actually reading that article.
Oh, fun fact, he messaged me today after I called him out again for a match. He told me he had something planned for Booty Dust. I made the suggestion, since you and him hate each other so much, I told him to just write the most scathing, fucking insulting article on your movies ever.
That would work. And let Booty Dust be like, Maverick, how dare you?
Fucking bitch. Like, if you don't do, like, that tone, I'd be severely disappointed. You're like, you fucking bitch.
Alright, so yeah, I'm a fan of Booty Dust because I feel he's the only thing different in this podcast at this point.
Alright. I'm going Javier Garcia, Latino Heat.
Who? Oh, right,
Heat.
Okay, He personally, I can't really say much on other than the fact that he's the guy that beat me for the world title. So I kind of have some bitterness and resentment toward him in a way because he's the reason why I keep advocating for a rematch for the world title. Because, to be fair, the way I have always seen this, and either way it worked out, so I can't really complain too much. But to be fair, when someone beats you for the world title, and then that person gets stripped of the world title, 9 times out of 10, the powers that be have the authority to return the world title back to its previous owner. Which I am not really.
Times out of 2 here.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Which I'm not a really big fan of. I'm kind of at the point. I'm kind of in the boat where like I like to earn my world title shots, but I feel that him leaving the podcast is the catalyst to what screwed everything up in the long run. Because I believe he left the podcast for personal reasons and all that. He had school and work and a bunch of other stuff going on. We had to strip him of the world title. And then I believe we tried bringing in a couple more people to replace he when he left. Salt Vader, and wasn't there one other person?
Yeah, let's just be honest. We're not a fan of the black people, so they left early.
Yeah, so Salt Vader and them left. Things went downhill from there. Everybody was arguing over who deserves the world title match, and I believe that caused Providence to leave, and then Mav to leave again.
No, the first time we had when Heat was looking for a title, when Heat dropped the title, the first time Sean left because because of Salt and Sir Classic not making it on time, so Sean left because Luigi was saying, hey, we need people on the episodes, and Sean just took it as, well, I might as well leave because
He was busy.
Yeah.
Why did Malik Davis add me to video chat?
Well, I'm not asking you out to dinner.
Oh, right. Hey.
God, you're hideous.
Well, I mean, what do you thought he was beautiful for? It's his hair, obviously.
Youngblood,
I accidentally hit the airplane mode button.
Youngblood, I know you like to call yourself Youngblood the Beautiful, but can you at least acknowledge the fact that beauty is only skin deep?
Oh, well, duh. You ever seen the inside of a person? Shit's disgusting.
Actually, I have. My mom's a nurse. My dad works at an MRI tech.
I was actually referencing a viral video. It said beauty is on the inside. And
Alright, so Malik, what were you saying about the reason why Providence left in the first place?
Basically, because Luigi was saying that, well, people need to show up more and stuff like that, so that's why Sean left. Basically, that's the first reason why, to sum it up.
Alright, but basically to sum everything up, I don't have really much of an opinion on Heat too much, because he hasn't really shown up on enough podcasts for me to really get a personal opinion about the guy. All I know is he's the dude that's beat me for a world title, and then, spoiler for SummerSlam, stayed quiet for like months on end, and then randomly dropped predictions and became world champion again. So, what the hell?
He saw Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy fan art. That's all. That's all I'm going to say.
Alright, so next.
All right. You now? Do you want to talk about the kind side, or you want to skip that one?
Okay, I fucking despise it. Moving on.
All right. The aggressive side.
No not really a fan of him. I was at first, but he hasn't really been on the podcast lately, and I told him that until he actually gets rid of Kindside, don't speak to me.
Fun fact: if I'm being honest, the aggressive side was supposed to be aggressive side. You see how Booty Dust is right now? Aggressive side was supposed to feud with Jimmy at SummerSlam, and Booty Dust was not supposed to be on the podcast. But when you told the aggressive side to leave, I decided to let's see if Booty Dust can work. So if it wasn't for you dissing aggressive side, Booty Dust would not been available. So good job.
I like progressive side, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna give him a good job on that one.
All right, Jimmy.
Did you just call him the regressive side?
Right.
Jimmy P.
So you said
Jimmy Gonzalez / Enigma. Where do you begin?
I just one word. Well, technically 2 words. Cock blocker.
No. Would you like to go into define that better?
Okay, so explain to me this: why in the hell, when we are having the best feud of Real Talk history, do me and you just let this random troglodyte into our match, ignore him the whole entire time because he doesn't say shit, just to end up losing the Intercontinental Podcast Championship to him, all while on the same night giving him the Real Talk in the Bank briefcase?
Okay. Okay.
So you're saying you're a big fan, right?
No.
I know that I feel like that was supposed to be funny, but god dang, that was hilarious.
The troglodyte comment got me.
Okay, we're almost in the home run. Sean Bradley II.
I actually really like the guy. He's really talented. I enjoy watching his matches on YouTube. Providence, I feel, kind of takes the whole talking shit and gimmick things a little too seriously because he gets promo work in the chat confused with actual arguing with each other, which I can kind of understand because if you're just coming in reading the chat and you have no idea what the fuck's going on, half the time our promo work in the chat does look like an argument. So outside of that, I really don't have an issue with him. I'm, like I said, a really huge fan, and I hope to work with him in the future in a feud. So.
Okay. Well, I want to say Sean Christopher, but I got to do it. Kieran Shea, aka Maverick.
I think let's say, gentlemen.
Okay, so.
The young boy, do you want me to play it, or you want me to wait for you?
I'll just wait for me to go through my list.
Okay.
Okay, Maverick. Let me just say this. Outside of him being probably, and if I'm going to be honest here, I have to say the good with the bad. Outside of him probably being the best heel we have on Real Talk Wrestling Podcast, I really have no reason to like the guy. Because all he does is
oh my God.
win titles, and then, okay, but seriously, all he does is win titles, which, hindsight, that's not that bad. You're winning. You're on top. Cool, whatever. But then he never retains those titles, and then he wants to bitch and complain about getting screwed all the time. All the while, I'm sitting here like, hey, man, give me a match. Give me a match. If you're really that upset and want to prove yourself, give me a match. It's like, no, You're not worth my time. You're not worth my time. So, it's gotten to the point to where, and this is a spoiler alert, and I hope he listens to this, if and when I ever win a Real Talk World title again, and he's sitting there in the background getting screwed like he always does, I guarantee you the time's going to come where he's going to be like, hey, Reaper, give me a match. And I'm like, no, sorry, you're not worth my time.
Okay, that was hilarious.
Now, if I'm going to break kayfabe, Kieran Shea is one of the nicest guys I've ever had the pleasure of talking to. I enjoy our chats in private and everything, and I enjoy reading his movie reviews and all that, and I feel he's a really smart guy.
I'm still waiting for that Booty Dust review, but hey.
But Mav himself can take a long walk off of a short pier. My brother pissed the fast.
Ooh. Well,
Right, we have one. I believe we have one more person.
I mean, oh yeah, Hunter. How do you feel about
Fuck
Hunter?
that guy.
Oh my god.
Fuck you too, buddy.
No, what hasn't been said in this podcast about the two of us, I feel that we've actually helped out each other a lot, and we have known each other off the podcast, I want to say 4 years from the... Actually, no, I've known you longer than I've known Malique.
Yeah. I'm shy.
So, yeah,
get over it.
It's basically the same thing with me and Malique. We knew each other off of the podcast.
We met in the same place.
Yeah, we met in the same place. We had common interests. Malique brought me into the podcast because he knew I liked wrestling. And then it got to the point to where, like we said earlier, people were leaving. There wasn't very many people showing up. We needed more people, so I made the suggestion to bring Hunter in. And everything's gone from there. So it's basically the same thing with me and him as it is for me and you, Malique.
I thought you liked me more.
No.
No, I actually despise you quite a bit.
I thought you said you liked Malique. I thought you hated Booty Daddy, not Malique. What the heck?
Is there a difference?
Yeah, Malique is a nice guy. Booty Daddy's the one that, you feuded with for about 4 or 5 months.
The only difference between... Okay, but the only difference between you and Booty Daddy is that you're not the son of goddamn Scott Steiner.
Alright, so you should hate him
So
for
you're
being
saying that he's better? Because, I mean, Scott Steiner is a genius.
Okay, think of it this way. There's Jinder Mahal as shit champion status, and then you have Randy Orton as not so shit champion status, but he still sucks. Booty Daddy is Jinder Mahal status. Malik Davis is Randy Orton status. Yeah, and then Malik Davis is Randy Orton status, while I'm all the way up here on AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura status.
Well, dang. Is that how you really feel?
Hey, no, John, me and you, we're up there Young Buck status.
Okay, let's not go too far. Young Bucks are nowhere near AJ Styles level.
Dude, I'm saying as a tag, me and him as a tag team.
Okay.
There's no such thing as too far.
Yeah, I mean, do you realize how far our egos go?
Yeah.
I mean, father.
Let me put it this way, Malik. If there is a bar for how far people can go, we don't set the bar. We are
the bar, and we will destroy any fucking beach balls in sight.
Okay, let's get back. Okay, so I would say myself, but me and you already talked about each other, so we should already know how we feel about each other. So it's Hunter. I'm gonna go back down the same list. You could add gimmicks too, because I want to talk. My personas are gimmicks, so Hunter, your take on Luigi / Prodigy.
Luigi's such a cool guy. I love talking to him. Prodigy wasn't that good before, but through his whole Prodigy 604, he's beginning to develop a character, and I'm really interested to see where he goes.
I am too. I don't know why that sounded like I am Groot for a second, but hey. That's it?
I don't have any strong feelings for the guy.
Oh, wow. I mean, if it wasn't for him, you would have been the World Talk World Champion.
That's fair. Yeah, if he didn't suck so bad at predicting.
Oh, then boy, does he suck.
I mean, yeah.
Love you, buddy.
If he didn't help I take my challenge, that would have kind of messed things up for me.
But anyways, Malik Bradshaw, aka the artist known as Booty Daddy.
He makes me laugh.
I can tell.
I can't help but laugh anytime he's talking because it's so out there. And like John said, everyone else is focused on the championship, and he's just like, "Move my fucking movie, bitch."
Yeah, if you notice that every promo he's cut, it's about a movie. Like I don't even. He was part of the battle royal for the titles. Did he ever even talk about winning the championship? I think he just said.
Not once.
I think he said that he would win a gold and the Oscar. Like he would win the gold, and it was most likely he was talking about gold and the Oscar. So.
Well, that's because he said Oscar.
Yeah, he was basically.
He rarely ever said gold. He just talked about winning without say the golden award in that Oscar.
Yeah, this man.
I don't know who this Oscar guy is. It's so important to him.
Yeah, so basically, Booty does wanted movie reviews and the Golden Oscars, and not the titles and that. I mean, I don't know what.
He's probably he's been the best comic relief kind of character.
Yeah, he's been the best comic relief character since Booty Daddy original debut.
That was just. I had to disagree with my partner. It never felt like a comic relief. It just felt creepy. Like genuinely, I didn't want to call you that at all. I'm just like, no. I will find. I'm gonna have to find. That's why forever. I just say BBBD. I'm like, nope, not gonna do it.
That makes sense. That's why you probably. It took you a while to call me Booty Daddy.
Of course, it didn't take you too long to call me Daddy, but.
What? Come on, man! You can't be saying that in a chat like that. You can't. That sounds so weird out loud.
Hey! Now let's not forget the fact that he actually beat you, and you had to call him Daddy.
He beat Maverick, and the bet was if he can beat Maverick, I had to call him Daddy for 3 episodes.
Oh man, that was just like truly.
I should have never taken that bet.
See if you go through with it.
Nah, I mean I was a man of my word, you know. I mean, I knew Maverick was gonna. I felt like Maverick was gonna lose because Maverick. That's why Booty does challenge him because when it comes to the big one, you can guarantee Maverick might lose, and Booty does prove it.
All right, who's next?
The next on the list is Javier Garcia and Latino Heat.
All right, I do have more of an opinion on him than John. I don't like him. I mean, I'm thinking Javier Garcia might be a nice guy, but I don't like him in that he's competing for championship, but not actually even saying anything in a chat, much less in a podcast. I don't think it's right. I don't pull any punches, you know.
Yeah, I can tell, man. You're keeping it real, and you're not being kind. And speaking of kind, talk about the kind side.
Hey, John. I think you said it best.
Fuck that guy?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Just nothing else. Fuck that guy. Let's go.
Malik, the Mahaja Raja. Aggressive side.
Oh, this guy is awesome. He thinks I'm hot shit, and hates Prodigy, and then hates himself in his other character
Oh yeah.
persona.
Fun fact: the Maharaja Raja hates Booty Daddy for being
He
a.
hates Booty Daddy. He hates the Italian side. He's just like, you know what? Every one of you is shit, except for Youngblood and Reaper. Those two are cool. I'm like, yep. I'm always good with a good ass kisser when they're kissing my ass.
All right. Enigma / Jimmy Gonzalez.
I don't really care that much for Jimmy after which it ended up in my favor because I went through the story with Prodigy that put me into the world title. But when I was trying to actually work something, it got canceled out because he got bothered over what is essentially just meant for entertainment. I don't even know where he lives. I obviously can't take his girlfriend. And then as for Enigma just annoys me because of that he ruined the best storyline of Real Talk in the Booty Daddy versus Reaper story. It came in and it just disrupted it, and it honestly killed it.
Yeah. Hold on, John. Your take on? Do you agree with that statement? Did Jimmy?
Actually, yes, I do have to agree with that. I still, to this day, feel that the ending to the Reaper and Booty Daddy feud should have been in a one-on-one blow-off match. Because think of it this way: you would have beaten me during Money in the Bank to get back your Real Talk IC title, right?
Right.
So after that, it would have been one last match, me and you
On the Battleground.
At Battleground for on the Battleground, whatever. It would have been me and you one last time, one-on-one for the title.
Not to
and
interrupt
Jimmy
you.
would have.
A fitting.
What's up?
Not to interrupt you, but that's a fitting theme to end the feud. Battleground, the final battle.
That's why I kept saying on the Battleground. No, you put your last differences on the Battleground.
Yeah, and let's think of it this way. Jimmy actually got a better score than both of us at Battleground. So either way you look at it, he still could have used his Real Talk in the Bank that he won to take the IC title, which would have been, I feel, a better ending to the feud since he cashes in his Real Talk in the Bank to take the title, yet me and you still get our one-on-one blow-off match. So he still becomes IC champion, and we still have our blow-off match, and it doesn't feel like he's just being inserted into the feud for no reason. It's just like in the other match in WWE. You have the two people having a feud. Everybody's ignoring the briefcase holder. They have a great match to try and blow off the ending to their feud, and then in comes the briefcase holder to.
Oh, so that's why Carmella didn't get a share. It wasn't a very good match.
No, that was random.
Well, he said, they're having a great match. No one's paying attention. And so I thought about SummerSlam, and I was like, oh, so that's why Carmella wouldn't cash in. It wasn't a very good match at all.
I can't really argue with that, but you get my point. I feel Jimmy winning the IC title would have been a lot better for the story if he actually used the Real Talk in the Bank briefcase to do it.
I would agree with that.
Or better yet, if Jimmy was never really inserted to the feud.
Which I still don't know why he was.
Because he won Backlash. Well, technically, me and him tied at Backlash, so Luigi gave him an IC title match, which, I don't know, me personally, I should have just been like, well, I tied second, so I should just, I should be able to, do what Maverick did and have a host of, an open challenge. But you say you want a rematch, and I said, yeah, I will. I pushed for the feud to continue, And then when you beat me, I should have just had that one-on-one rematch. You know what I mean? But we made it a
Yeah.
triple threat match. But
Alright, so continue on with Hunter.
yeah, ooh man, I had to think about it. Jimmy killed our feud. All right, so Hunter, Sean Bradley II / Providence.
I'm gonna have to split this into three people. Sean Christopher, that guy's fucking awesome. Like, well, every time he uploads a clip of himself, I'm immediately right there checking it out. Subscribe to his YouTube page. I mean, it's fun to watch. You know, and sometimes it seems like we might be kissing his ass because he's a friend, but he's actually good. Sean Bradley, he's a pretty cool guy. As Reaper said, sometimes him / Providence, it gets too serious. You know, Q Booty Dust, why so serious?
Dark Knight 2008.
And then Providence. Providence, mixed feelings. I'll put it that way. Because I respect him, but yeah, mixed feelings. That's the best way to put it.
All right. Malik Davis, because we're saving that guy for last. Myself.
Hold on.
Malik Davis.
Malik Davis,
I have a
Booty
clip.
Daddy.
I have a clip for Malik Davis. Well, I believe Malik has a clip for Malik Davis. Malik, you want to ask Kurt how he feels about Malik Davis?
Let's ask Kurt.
Well, I gotta look for Kurt. Kurt, where you at? Hold on, let me call him.
Kurt's a very wise guy, so it's good to ask him questions.
He is. So I mean, he costs a lot of money. So this is like my paycheck. All right, ask him.
You know, truth be told, I'm not a very big fan of the black people.
I'm so glad we brought that on.
But, you know, jokes aside, could you imagine how bad that would have went over today?
Oh, I think it would. I think Kurt would have been nuked. I think Kurt would have had to actually. He would probably be Muhammad Hassan right now.
Muhammad Hassan, he beat Roman Reigns winning the Rumble in Philadelphia that year.
I don't know. Kurt was.
Still
Kurt
not
could,
as hated as Maverick, though. But
Oh, no. But let's get to him here in a minute.
Booty Daddy, and we still got time. Don't rush don't rush how you feel about me, man. Come on.
Malik Davis. Huh.
Where,
And like you, we have several disagreements at times. But genuinely, I think you're a good guy. You have stupid opinions, like you don't understand how great Michael Bennett is.
I mean, he's okay, but he's not. Y'all act like he's the greatest thing since since AJ
I'm sorry
Styles.
to interrupt you, but we never did our opinions on Lobo.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So, Hunter, you hurry that up so I can ask. How he feel, because I was looking at it through the
How long
chat.
you just got done saying, don't rush how you feel about me? Here, just take a pause. Wait for give your Lobo opinion.
You should like Sami Zayn more. Everybody should like Sami Zayn more. Sami Zayn should be the universal champion.
He's the president of the Sami Zayn fan club.
Sami Zayn should be the champion of everybody. He should be the champion of Christmas. He should be crowned the champion of the universe.
Hashtag not my champion.
Hashtag I don't give a crap who your champion is.
I hope that noise didn't make it.
Carry on. I got my Sami Zayn shtick out on Alphonse.
I gotta go. I gotta say, I didn't like you at first. Malik, talking to Malik.
Oh wow, we're yeah. Well, you do
Yeah.
you shoot you do say it from the hip. Keep going.
I would consider you a friend now, though.
Well, thank you.
As
Well,
for
that's
Booty
cool.
Daddy, ooh, I still hate saying that.
I mean, you're right. I mean, you like the artist known as Booty Daddy. You might as well just love Booty Daddy.
Well, he's not an artist, though.
Oh wow.
Youngblood's the type who appreciates the finer things in art.
I can tell.
Yeah,
Nice cars, hot women, expensive clothing.
I was literally gonna say that. You know, the fine arts of pole dancing. Very, very sophisticated. I've got, but Booty Daddy, he's a good character. A little frustrating at times, but overall he's entertaining, and that's the important thing.
I thank you for that.
Alright, now that all the
make real
important
talk-
people are out of the way.
Hashtag make real talk PG again.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Okay, now that right there, I was like, oh my god.
I feel like that's
killing.
what I feel like when Hunter said he didn't like me at first. I think that was the reason why he didn't like me at first. But then when I said it was all a joke, I think he liked me then. It was fun fact. That was just a rib on John about going PG. That was
I'm the type of person who, even if we were to go PG, you wouldn't be able to censor me. I just don't care. I just for myself.
Like my genuine, like I will turn off music no matter how good it sounds if there's something censored.
Yeah, same here. Because fun fact, I do YouTube. Most of my videos get demonetized because I can't watch my goddamn mouth. Do I care? No, because fuck censorship.
You know, when I hear people cursing, I'm just like, hey, watch your fucking mouth. And then I go, oh, carry on.
It's like the whole DX. It's like the whole DX censorship thing.
That is exactly it. You know, watch your fucking mouth. Oh, speaking of weird censorship, though, someone explained this to me. In the word "God damn it," they don't censor "damn it." They censor God.
No idea. All right, so Malik, do you got the thing to play this for his next opinion? Because I have headphones on. I don't know exactly how well it will work with headphones.
And I don't have my computer. When do I play it off of there? It didn't get into the microphone.
Well,
that's why I asked him to do it.
no. I am trying to get the video, but apparently, it won't. I'm trying to go into the app because it won't let me sign in with the age restriction. So I'm trying to put it in the app.
Are you too young?
No,
Well, no,
He's a little baby booty.
you guys know. You guys know how old I am.
I don't know if this has been established yet, Malik, but I'm not finished with you.
What happened? Well, it's been
That one sentence has made broad.
John. It's been 3 straight pay-per-view matches.
That was the pre-show.
Fuck.
Yellow Maverick. I'll let a little sonata help show my opinions on Maverick. In the beautiful words of Miss Cat McSnatch.
Oh, I got the video finally.
All right, if it's not wanting to start the beginning, just go to 22.
I try to live my life every day. Keep out of strife, come what may. I try to do unto others
By the way, this is for Maverick, so
as not have them do to me. But it can't be done for everyone, and now it's plain to see. You are a cunt, 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 a fat stinking cunt. It ain't true, but me tell you, you're a motherfucking cunt. You are a cunt, 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 motherfucking cunt. Everybody knows from your head to your toes, you're a big fat stinking cunt. I try to be real nice.
Say something before you continue on. Something that my roommate told me. Apparently, one of the wrestling pages released an article about the top 20 worst tag teams since 1990. Guess who got the number one as the worst tag team?
Brothers for Real Talk.
Headbangers.
So, what?
No,
The
like-
Headbangers.
kayfabe aside, like WWE.
Headbangers?
American Alpha got the number one spot as the worst tag team of all time since 1990.
That's stupid.
Wait, who WWE posted that?
No, it's like one of those wrestling pages, like 434, stillrealtus.com or whatever, all those wrestling pages.
So they thought the Smoking Guns were better than American Alpha?
I guess so.
I mean, y'all know I'm a fan of the Spirit Squad, but they thought the Spirit Squad was better?
Well, truth be told, they might not be very big fans of the black people.
Well, it's only a black person, though. They got a white person to balance it out.
I'm just glad La Resistance is not on the list.
Viva la Resistance.
What's number 2?
Don't know, he didn't tell me.
Anyways,
Carry on.
get it, Karen.
So, yeah. That song puts it mildly. Emphasis on just mild.
Oh wow.
Honest.
Basically the PG version.
Yeah. The unrated, uncensored version, it's so bad they literally could not uncensor it.
So are we ever
Samuel L. Jackson looked back and said, "Whoa, whoa."
Are we gonna hit?
I'll give him the one thing. His assholery is what helped me bring my character out. That's about as good as I'm gonna get for him. He's nonstop whining and whining. No matter what, I'm gonna guess that No Mercy is just gonna be. I couldn't predict right. I actually looked at the eclipse. Even though, it didn't actually go to England. Oh, and he's British, yeah.
America.
Fuck yeah!
La Resistance.
He constantly shadowed all over the IC title. And honestly, all just because he wasn't willing to do the work to bring his own title up. Like, then after, he complains that y'all were trying to bury his. He gets on, breaks the sanctity of the whole system, in which he basically rigged the system so that he would retain with Providence. That pissed me off bad. Goes through. I get my shot against him. He puts no effort whatsoever into this. Then, through him leaving, led to Providence leaving, which led to the ending of the gimmicks, which led to my first title being taken away. More reason to not like the guy. Goes through, doesn't let me speak, constantly mocks my name, and it seems like it's a small thing, but it's not to me. It's childish, and, when I think I'm supposed to be doing this with a bunch of adults, that's just childish.
So, how did you feel about him dropping you as I'm doing the quotation mark fingers here, tag team partner?
Then, I was pissed. Now, hallelujah, free from that leech.
It's Raining Man, by the way. Just in case you know. In this case, if music daddy
Yes,
comes,
yes, it is raining men. Unfortunately, when they're around me, half of them are dead.
And then around me, they seem to become gay. Now,
It's 2017. We won't judge you, young blood.
here,
Be beautiful.
Okay, we're gonna
You
talk
can be
about
beautiful.
Hunter for a minute.
You can be beautiful for whoever you want to be beautiful for.
so
No, you said
John,
you
what we gonna
wanted
do with
to talk
Derek
about
Young?
me as a person. Let's. I have no idea why, because I am straight, but I set off some kind of a gaydar because randomly gay men just that I had never met before just go up to me and try to hit on me. Women.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. Until the whole young blood the beautiful thing came in, my personal opinion of Hunter Davis was that you were gay.
Wow. I guess everyone's getting little bombshells today.
I'm not.
Oh, but it's okay. We can make you gay like Darren Young, and we can make Darren Young straight again.
Like, I was at my job, which I was a sign spinner for a mattress company. This guy pulls his car up to me, calls me over, and starts asking me about the sale. I'm like, okay, this is kind of neat. I actually know I can be making. And then he starts asking me about how old I am. I'm like, I tell him I go to college, and he just like, then he goes, are you gay? Because, like, I think you're really cute. And I'm like, no, I am not. This is uncomfortable now. Please leave. A couple of other times. So, first of all, this guy tries to hit on me. Then I tell him I'm not gay. And he goes in to try to scam me out of money. I start looking into the guy, and I realize he stole someone else's identity. So, I go to report that, and I find the guy who he did, who I've never met either of these people. I find this guy. I'm helping him out. I'm explaining to him what happened. He thanks me. And then this guy tries to hit on me. And this guy's in his 60s.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, no. Why do you people do this?
Well, to be fair, Hunter, and going back to shit that happened in the chat, you of all people are an advocate to the thing I've been saying for years. For the right amount of money, anybody can be gay.
Okay. You put out the funds. I'm gay for whoever. I'm gay with whoever you want me to be.
Okay, and that we're gonna end this talk right now. So, are you done with
Malique's a
your?
homophobe.
I am not. I just feel really uncomfortable with because I remember.
With gay people?
No, I'm comfortable with you because I remember you say you would do
So
Big
what's
Shot
your
RJ.
opinion on me, Hunter, since I kind of gave my whole... I thought you were gay.
I found out that you thought I was gay. I mean... Why do people think that?
I mean,
No, actually, I get why people that know me in real life, I get why they think that, because John Mulaney, a comedian, put it best when God was making me. Like he made 3/4 of a gay man, and then forgot to put that final clip in. Like, send me off and say, "Oh, did you mark that one gay? No, was I supposed to? Oh, well, this is going to be a very awkward individual. He's going to be very flamboyant."
Okay, so before I told you I thought you were gay, what's
I
up?
still think you're a good friend. You know, you brought me on here, which is cool. All around, you know, we've known each other for a while, and I would consider you one of my good online friends.
Oh, okay, good. As long as you don't think I'm gay.
You know, I never thought you were gay. I just kind of thought you didn't like anything, though. I didn't really consider you straight.
That's literally 100% the truth.
I didn't ever consider you straight. It's just like
outside of close personal.
John just doesn't do it, people.
Outside of close personal friends like you, like maybe 2-3 people I know here in the state of Nebraska. Like, I even despise my own family at times. Like, I just have no time.
Who doesn't?
I have no time for bullshit.
Chris
Like,
Benoit despises his family.
huh?
Benoit despises his family.
Yes, Benoit Clock. But yeah, outside of the people on the podcast, which half of you I despise anyway, the other half I get along with.
He's talking about you, Malique, in the despise department.
Oh no, Malik's in the middle, like, or
Malique's just a meh.
well, Malik himself is the I get along with category. Booty Daddy's in the middle. I don't despise him.
Oh, by the way,
I
forgot
don't
to say
like
what
him.
I felt about Kieran, and I can sum up in just one word. Meh.
So you like Malik, you mad about Booty Daddy, you love Booty Does, aggressive is meh, and you hate the kind side. That's nice.
Yeah, and I do have to at least give 1 point to the kind side. He's at least a step above Maverick.
Yeah, you know he is. So I give that to him as well. Except I'd be like 3 stars.
Have you ever hated something so much to the point you really wanted to go out, meet the person, and bury him 6 feet under?
Oh my god.
Oh my god,
All right.
yes.
Okay, so
You know how low Maverick is? He's
Okay, so that's kind
just
of
above, just
All right.
barely an inch above Donald
right.
Trump.
Alright, so
Okay, so
wait.
that's the kind side.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say this right now. We're gonna end this episode. The next episode is gonna be how you feel about Maverick, because that's gonna be a whole 2-hour podcast. And I can already tell Hunter has a novel for this guy. So with that, any last words?
Fuck the revival?
Fuck the revival, fuck Maverick, you know.
Alrighty then.
Is Maverick their revival?
You know, Maverick very well might be.
No, Maverick. Ryback invented Maverick, by the way. Ryback was supposed to have the Maverick gimmick, but he thought that.
Fuck you, Maverick. Fuck you, Maverick.
But Ryback decided that the gimmick would never work, and he'll probably just bury titles.
You know, Ryback was right about something.
Wait, you know what's funny? I was about to say Ryback. Before we end it, just a funny joke. Maverick complained that we buried the IC title. Maverick tried to bury the IC title, but the plot is. It's funny how it comes around that he technically buried the world title with losing it 3 times in a row. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I mean, seriously, nothing buries a belt more than not being able to do it, than winning it a bunch without ever successfully defending.
AKA Sasha Banks.
AKA Charlotte as well.
But
you know what really pisses me off? The fact that I want them to push Emma, but at the same time I don't want them to bury Nia Jax. So they're fucking putting Emma against Nia Jax.
it's not like most squash matches. But with that being said, this has been Unique Talk with Malique, episode 3. Table.
Before you ended, I just sent something to the girl chat.
I don't know if y'all heard that or not. I want to bury Emma under my dick.
I want to bury Emma under my covers.